Hello, Jennifer Tochi, and welcome to 80's. Woohoo! 80's Week, brought to you by Echo Zero. um, Day 2 for me, yes. And this is going to be one of the better known movies that I'm doing. Trying to go a little obscure at times. And I'm sticking to VHSs all the way through. Why? Because I'm a stuck up VHS lover. Aren't I? Yes. Okay, yes. And I'm sorry I'm so behind at uh, com- comments on my videos and everything. But I haven't been able to be on the phone. I haven't been. I'm catching up. If you hear bubbles, my diet Dr. Thunder got hit with the cord and exploded. Luckily, not onto my VHS tape, though. Hooray! Onto a DVD, which was easy to watch. Yes. But the movie I'm going to be doing is 1987. I always say that the best, when you want to go back to the 80's, I think the best years are 85, 87, and 89. That's my opinion. Yep. And this movie is starring and written by Steve Martin. He is also executive producer. Yes. Columbia Pictures did this. Yes. Ooh. And darn it, my son put his gum on it, and I still have never been able to get all the gunk off of the corner. Roxanne, yes. Starring Steve Martin and Daryl Hannah. Daryl Hannah's way up here in the O, yes. Her name's Roxanne in this movie. And he plays Fire Chief C.D. Bales. There's something about him, something weird about him. Yes, he has a big nose. He's very sensitive about it, yes. He will beat the shit out of people. And is very good at it. If they say anything about his nose. Yes. Yes. And he has a he lives in a little town where he's a fire chief. Yes. And he has just a little fire station with a whole bunch of firefighters that don't really know what they're doing. And one of the firefighters is played by this is one of Damon Wayans' first movies. You may know Damon Wayans from The Living Color. Yes. Yes. And Homie Don't Play That. Yes. I have that pin over here. Yes. I'm a big fan of Damon Wayans. And The Living Color. Homie Don't Play That. Somewhere in the house is even a doll of Homie the Clown. Yes. He doesn't have the biggest part in this. Yes. But he would go on to do Earth Girls Are Easy. Yes. Yes. But a new fireman is coming into town. Named Chris, who's played by Rick Rossovich. Yes. And he's very handsome. Except I look at him and I think, his nose isn't that little either. I think Steve Martin's pretty cute with this big, long nose. Yes. Well, but Chris has a problem too. Whenever pretty girls tuck him, he runs. He goes and throws up. Yes. So she has a problem too. Daryl Hannah comes into town. Roxanne. She's attracted to fireman Chris. Oh no. But he's a real fireman. And he's going to get that fire station into. Him and CD are going to get that fire station into shape. Yes. Yes. Who's tall on looks and short on conversation. Chris is, yes. When CD agrees to coach the dumbstruck Chris, yes, in his pursuit of the fair maiden, Roxanne, this ticklish triangle dissolves into a hilarious series of rib-tickling romantic misadventures. A contemporary love story of mistaken identity, unrequited love. Yes. One night, he goes on a date with Roxanne. Rick. I don't think he's that cute. I think Steve Martin's cute. I think his nose is cute. Okay. Yes, and CD says, you've got to swoon that girl. You've got to swoon that girl because she's used to being, you've got to read poetry to that girl. You can't use regular lines. So he lets him use earphones and tells him what to say, but problems arise. Yes, problems do arise. And so he takes off the earplugs and says kind of rude things. So they must leave. And he ends up under a window with CD telling him what to say. But he's not hearing right what CD is telling him to say. So CD steps in, Steve Martin, that is, and starts talking how Rick should be talking. Poetry, romance, yes. And talks his way in because he's so in love with Roxanne already. Yes. That's Rick gets Roxanne on the first date. But Roxanne, she is in town looking for a comet. Yes. She thinks she has found a comet and has to leave for a while. What happens when CD starts writing her letters? But I think this is a beautiful comedy. and a beautiful romance story. Yes, I do. I did not look what IMDb gives it, but I'm going to give it a 9. Yes. This is a dinner and a movie. Yes. It is romantic. And it's from 1987. One of those years. Those 2 years. That just make me one of those 3 years. Yes. 85, 87, 89. Yes. This is from 1987. This is the magic years of the 80s for me. Beautiful. It's beautiful. So, that's my second review for 7 days. This is so hard to do. I was going to do a movie called 3 O'Clock High, but I decided to not because someone else did it. And I love that movie, but there are tons more movies that I can do, so no worries. Because it was with great torture that I picked out these 7 movies. Yes. And I'm looking at my 5 left, and I'm going, rawr, rawr, that's the really ones I want to pick. Rawr, rawr. It's going to be a fun week this week. Farewell, Meatloaf. Paradise by the dashboard lights. Farewell.